When you're done, this is what the narcissist thinks of you. When you're with the narcissist, deep down they already see you as a fool. I've said many times before, if you are around a narcissist, if you're with them, they don't really value you. You're not really that important to them. They just see you as an idiot. You're a fool. Because if you were anything greater, if you were smart, you would get your ass out of there before it's too late. So yeah, as long as you're with a narcissist, they do just see you as a fool. They see you as a foolish person. But they do all of these things to you. They test your limits. They test your patience. And at some point, you just feel like giving up. You feel like, what's the point in trying? If every time you get the same result, nothing ever changes, nothing ever improves, what's the point? So eventually you just give up. You don't want to do it anymore. You're done. And that's when they go from seeing you as this fool who they never appreciated, who they always took for granted. They go from seeing you as that to then seeing you as this horrible person who manipulated them, who exploited them, who took advantage of them when they were in a vulnerable place. They didn't have anyone by their side. They didn't have anyone supporting them. And you came along like this horrible person that you're supposed to be. And you took advantage of them when they needed help the most. An interesting story. That is how the narcissist sees it. And of course, since when they were with you, they never valued, they never appreciated anything you did for them. So of course, when it's all over, they don't take any of that into account. They only remember the bad things, which tends to be reactive abuse. It's you reacting angrily towards something that they've said or done to you. And yet that's what they claim is something bad that you've done to them. And then they take that as though you've exploited them, you've abused them, you've done all of these horrible things. and they just never count for anything good that you've done at the end of the relationship. They can give you a long list of bad things you've done, but they can't even say one thing you did that was right. They're very arrogant. They expect you to see it as a privilege to be around them, even though they're not really about anything, even though they're not really doing anything for you. I've always said the narcissist needs you more than you need them. You would actually find that your life would be a lot easier without them. But their lives would be very hard, despite what they make you believe. They make you believe that out of fear, because deep down they know the truth. Deep down they know they would struggle. But yeah, this is what you have to understand. Because they react in this way at the end out of fear. They don't know how they're going to make it without you. So they hold on to you for dear life. Which is why it should be no surprise that most of these relationships end in a smear campaign, where they talk to everyone about you behind your back, or they get the police involved, they take you to court. This is all done out of fear. Because although they may have taken you for granted the entire time, deep down they know it's not going to be easy to find someone else. Especially someone who was doing what you were doing. It's very hard for a narcissist to find anyone. There aren't many people that want to put up with that. Most people don't want to be talked down to. Most people don't want to deal with someone who needs so much attention. Someone who always has to be the center of everything. Most people don't want to be around someone like that. And they know this. They know it's hard to replace you. Which is why when you're done, at first they can't accept it. They can't accept that you're done. But even if they hoover you, they try to pull you back in, all they're really doing is prolonging the inevitable. Because despite how much they may say they have changed, despite all of the false epiphanies, fake apologies, despite all of that BS, they always revert back to the same old thing. Because it's all they know. They don't know any other way to operate in a relationship. They operate from fear, shame, envy, and jealousy. Everything they do, everything, is just a reaction to their own fear, shame, envy, and jealousy. There is nothing else outside of that. Because they are stuck in a low emotional vibrational frequency. And they can't get out of that because they refuse to take accountability for where they find themselves. If they could just look at themselves, even for a moment, and say, yes, I feel this way. Yes, this feeling is because of me. Yes, I am responsible for my actions and for how I think and how I feel. If they could just do that, then there would be no such thing as a narcissist. But it continues because the disorder it functions in a way where there's no possible way for them to even see themselves. They do not see themselves the way that you see them. They can't. If they did, they would go insane. If they did, they would try to kill themselves. But don't ever think, despite what they may say to you in their attempts to get you back, don't ever think that they really realize your worth. They realize the value in what you're providing to them. Whether it's a place to stay, money, maybe you have good connections, whatever it is that you have, they value that. But they do not value you as a person. As I've said, the narcissist never realizes that you are the real one. They think you're fake just like everyone else, just like them. Their entire lives, they've been around fake people. They don't know what realness is. They don't know about authenticity. They think everyone's just playing an act to get what they want out of the situation. And that's why when you're done, they see it as though you just exploited them. They don't really believe that you put all your cards on the table, as though you weren't hiding anything. No, they can't believe that. Because if they were to believe that, they would have to look at themselves and think, wait, I just messed something up with someone who actually cared about me. Someone who actually wanted the best for me. Someone who would have been by my side, even when everyone else couldn't give a damn. That's just something no narcissist could ever accept. Because if they were to accept that, that would mean that they're wrong. And no narcissist can ever see it as though they're wrong. They're perfect. They're flawless. There is nothing wrong with them. It's how they see it. And even in the rare case where they're forced to accept that there's something wrong with them, it's because of you. You did that to them. They can't be the cause of anything wrong. So yeah, it may be painful to hear this, but when you're done, the narcissist never sees it as though you was good to them. They never look at it that way. Yes, they value everything you did. They value everything you gave, of course. But they never value you. Think about it like this. If they really valued you, they never would have pushed you to the point where you had to leave. They would have made you feel loved, valued, and respected. You would have been happy every day that you spent with them. But you weren't. You were miserable every day that you had to endure with that toxic individual. Because the fact is, they did not value you. When you value something, you're going to take good care of it. Unless you are an emotionally underdeveloped person, Trust me. You give $100 bill to a toddler. Leave it with them for 10 minutes. Come back, and they would have screwed it up. And why? Because they don't recognize the value of it. Just like a narcissist doesn't recognize your value. Even if there was a perfect person walking the earth, leave that person with the narcissist for a couple of weeks, they would destroy them. They would be able to tell you all kinds of things that are wrong with them. Even if there was such thing as a perfect person. Because the reality is, no matter who you are, no matter how hard you work to get to where you are today, put yourself around a narcissist and all that goes to shit. You're only as great as the people you surround yourself with. And if you surround yourself with low quality people, you're going to end up like that too after a while. That's just the reality of it. But of course, when you leave, you can pick yourself back up. You can get to where you were before you met them. You can start taking care of yourself again. Go to the gym. Eat good food. You can become a high quality person again. But to be that, if you want to be everything you want to be in life, first you have to look at yourself and say, okay, right now, I ain't shit. That's what you have to do. You have to accept that right now, maybe you're not something great. Maybe you're not everything. But narcissists, in their minds, they start at the top. In their minds, they're everything already. They don't have to work on anything. They don't have to adjust. They're just great right now, and you should accept them. And it's that belief in their heads that destroys anyone who sticks around them for a long period of time. If you're around someone like that long enough, it will destroy you. And you cannot change them, because the disorder is designed to block any sense of flaws or imperfections. They have to feel like they're perfect for the disorder to function. If there's something wrong, well, it must be you. You must have caused it. You must have done something. It can never be them. Being around someone like that will drive you insane. You have to build with someone who can be vulnerable, someone who can admit their flaws and mistakes, someone who can say, yes, okay, I need to do this. Yes, I need to improve on this. Yes, that was my fault. I'll take care of it. You can build with someone like that. You cannot build anything with a narcissist. As I've always said, the key to success is accountability. Whether that's in your job, a sport, or a relationship. Accountability is the key to your success. And that's why when you're done and you leave the narcissist, it's usually because at some point you take accountability. You accept that you have found yourself in this relationship and only you can get yourself out of it. You accept that. And then that is what changes your life. And that's why narcissists stay stuck, repeating the same dysfunctional behaviors for the rest of their lives. Nothing ever changes. They just find someone who's willing to put up with them for a short period of time. And then when that's done, they just find someone else. Because they know it's not going to last. They know no one can put up with that for a long time. Not without losing their minds. Not without being ran into the ground to the point where even the narcissist wouldn't even want them anymore. Narcissists know they're not worth anything, which is why once they've been around you long enough, you're not worth anything to them either, because you're around them. But guaranteed, you take a break for a week or two, your value soon comes back. They want you back because they already know. They know they're predestined. They know they're doomed. They know they're nothing. And that's why when you're around them for a long time, they take you for granted. Everything you do means nothing to them. So yeah, this is just what they think of you when you're done. They think you're this horrible person who exploited them. You took advantage of them. And then they just play the victim. But you can move on. Find someone who values you. Find someone who respects you. Find someone who loves themselves. Someone who realizes their own worth. Because if they can see the worth in themselves, they can see the worth in you. Anyone who doesn't see your worth, it's probably because they don't have any worth of their own. You've got to have it to recognize it in someone else. There are different classes of people in this world. And if you go looking in the wrong places for love, you're just going to find someone who doesn't know how to treat something of value. Like I said about giving a $100 bill to a toddler. They'll just tear it up. Just like if you give a Ferrari to someone who knows nothing about cars, come back after a couple of weeks and it will be ruined because they don't know how to take care of it. They don't know how to take care of a high value person. Narcissists are used to garbage. They just got lucky with you. And yes, they may have wanted you. They may have wanted all of these things that you have to offer. But that does not mean they know how to take care of you. Which is why once you've been with them for enough time, after a few months, you start to get very tired. You're no longer happy. Every day you're miserable. You lose yourself. You stop doing the things that you once loved to do in an attempt to please this person who doesn't even care about you. Whenever you feel down around someone, whenever you feel like you hate your life, recognize that it isn't you. I guarantee you leave that person for a while. Spend time around people who value themselves, people who realize their own worth. Spend time around people like that and watch how you feel. You will begin to feel a lot better when you're around people who are on their grind, people who are following their purpose, people who are doing something with their lives, people who are helping people, people who are giving something back to the world, people with empathy, people with love in their hearts, people who have love to give. Because there ain't no love in a narcissist. There's only hate, jealousy, envy, fear, and shame. Everything you don't want in your life. So yeah, spend time with better people and you will live a better life. Narcissists are the lowest of the low. Everything that's bad and wrong, they're involved in it. They're doing it. And they're only going to spread that toxicity into your life when you deserve so much better. It's just they know how to get into your head. Narcissists are predators. They know how to control you. If you want to control someone, all you have to do is make them doubt their own worth. Make them feel like they're not good enough. Then they will seek your validation. They will try to be better for you. Just like you're trying to be better for this narcissist who doesn't even deserve it anyway. This narcissist is trying to get you to be more, to do more, when really you should just look at yourself and realize what it took for you to get to where you are today. Recognize your worth, recognize your accomplishments, and then realize that they're not even deserving of that anyway. Forget about anything more. They're not even deserving of what you're doing for them right now. Sometimes you've got to take a step back and look at what you're doing for them and see that they're not bringing anything to the table. They're not doing anything for you that anyone else couldn't do. They're not doing anything that you couldn't do for yourself. And yet when you're done, they become so bitter and resentful towards you when they ain't done shit. You upgraded their lives. You pulled them out of the dirt. And that is how they repay you. And that's why you have to be really careful who you're dealing with. You have to vet people. You have to find out where they've been in their lives, who they've been dealing with. And then you need to decide whether or not they're worthy of being in your life. Your life that you worked very hard to build. Because it only takes one person to come in and destroy all of that. So yes, be very careful. Not everyone is meant to be in your life. But yeah, this is just what narcissists will do when you're done. They're not going to accept it. They were never grateful for anything you did. They will always want more. They're never going to come to you and say, yes, I'm so happy for what you did for me. How can I repay you? They're never going to think like that. Because in their minds, they're the celebrity. You're the fan. They're the king or queen. You're the servant. You're supposed to do this. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to cater to them. You're supposed to do whatever they want. Forget about yourself. You don't matter. They want you to think you're not that great anyway. So why are you deserving of anything? You should be doing everything for them. Because they're better than you. They're more deserving. That's how they want you to think. And that's why I'm here to tell you to stop. They don't deserve nothing. They do not deserve you. And you deserve so much more. For all of the suffering you went through. For dealing with someone like that, you deserve to be free. You deserve to live your life. Don't let no one pull you down. I don't care who it is. You deserve to be free. You deserve time to move on and heal. And that's why I do this. I want to remind you. I want you all to know. Don't let anyone define you. Don't let anyone tell you who you are or what you're deserving of. You know the work you put in. You know everything you did to get to where you are today. And if someone isn't grateful for that, that's their own problem. Forget about them. Ignore them. If they want to bitch and complain, let them do that. But they can do that somewhere else. Don't stand for it. So yeah. Don't worry about what they think of you. Remember how you think of them after everything they did. Powerful message for you all tonight. Just staying at this 5-star hotel. I work very hard delivering these messages to you every day to inspire you. And now this is my time to sit back and enjoy my life, to relax and be happy. I've poured my heart and soul into these videos of the last 3.5 years. And when you work hard, you deserve to enjoy your life. Don't let anyone tell you that you don't deserve that. Don't work all your life just to give it to someone who doesn't even deserve it, who hasn't done anything to earn it. Don't let someone do that to you. Give it to someone who has something to give to you in return. Someone who wants to build. There's 2 types of people in this world. People who build and people who destroy. And narcissists are definitely people who destroy. They come into your life and destroy everything you've built. They're not going to stick by your side. They're not going to be there for you at your lowest. They're not going to give you help and support when you need it. They're not going to do that. They're not built like that. But we are. So let's all support each other. Let's all be there for each other. Please like, share your thoughts in the comments, and click that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. I will have many more videos just like this coming very soon. Have a great day.